Welcome to this chair yoga class. My name is Leanne, and I'll be guiding you through this class today. So you would like a comfortable chair to sit in, preferably without arms, and make sure your feet are flat on the floor or on something like a yoga block or some kind of a block so that your feet are flat, resting easy on the ground. So make yourself comfortable in your chair. Just sort of let your body feel settled into it for the moment. We're going to start with just a little bit of a grounding practice. So you can rest into your chair. You can close your eyes and just begin here by noticing what you're touching. So your feet are touching the ground. The backs of your legs are touching the seat of the chair. Bottom of your pelvis is touching the seat of the chair, the back of your body. Your hands and maybe your arms are somehow touching your body. Your clothing is resting against your skin, and air is touching your skin. And some parts of you might feel warm, that air might feel warm, and some parts might feel cool. And this is what this moment feels like from the perspective of touch. So let your awareness now shift a little bit more inward so that you're noticing your body and how your body feels today. And when we notice how we are, we might notice what we need. Which can lead us towards an intention for our practice today. You see if this intention can arise from your heart. So it's not like an objective or a goal that feels more like it comes out of your mind. It's something that your heart wishes for you. So maybe that you are just able to practice being present. Or maybe you want to let your body feel like it can move with a little bit more ease. Maybe you want to connect with feeling well. If you're feeling very wound up, sometimes we like to feel a little more grounded. If we're feeling a little too grounded and heavy, then we need to feel a little lighter. So just an intention that would feel good for your body. And this is just going to act as a guide as we move through the class. Okay, easy breath. It's just gentle and effortless. Even when we're doing our postures, our breath is a really great guide for how we're moving. And if the breath is effortful or held, we need to move with a little bit more ease. We need to make things a little bit more gentle. All right, so as we come to our postures, doing your best to stay connected to your body, your breath, and then somewhere in there is your intention. Okay, so if you like, you can open your eyes back up. You can just sort of lift your back off the backrest of the chair. Let your arms come down to the floor, or down rather to your sides. Okay, and then you're going to inhale and let the arms lift up. And exhale and let the arms come down. So you are just lifting the arms as far as is comfortable for you. So inhale, let the arms come on up, gentle stretch. And exhale, let the arms come all the way down to where they get to rest. Okay, do one more, all the way up. Letting go. And this time we're going to come up on an inhale. And then as you exhale, bend the elbows. And just let the elbows drop below the shoulders so palms are facing forward. You might be able to move the arms back gently, just opening up through the chest and through the front of the body. Okay, and then let the arms come on down. All right, staying with the arms and the shoulders, we're going to roll the arm bones in the shoulder sockets. So you can think about this upper arm bone is rolling in the shoulder joint. Now, your arms, your right arm may move differently than your left arm, and you're just honoring where each one is at. So you don't have to push them into a range that is uncomfortable or hurts. We're just loosening up, we're warming up, we're looking for movement in the joint and just warming up the tissues. Okay, so keep this movement going, but we're going to add the shoulders. So as your arm bones roll forward and your palms face backward, you can just let the shoulders gently come towards each other. So the collarbones shorten up. Okay, and then when you roll the other way, the shoulder blades can come up towards each other on the back of your body. Okay, and as you feel into this movement, you can allow it to become a little bit bigger so that it actually starts to include more of your upper back. Okay, so I'm just going to turn in the chair so that you can see the movement of the spine, right? As we roll the arms forward and the palms face back, the upper back can round a little bit. And then as we roll the other way, the upper back can lengthen a little bit and the front of the body can open. So just gently, your breath is still moving. Okay, so shoulders, shoulder blades on the rib cage, upper part of the spine, and the chest. Okay, come on back to neutral. Just let your arms hang beside you. Then they're going to come back up to the ceiling or up higher. If you like, you could interlace your fingers so your palms can face down or maybe up. And then we're going to let the arms drop to shoulder height. So again, palms could be facing away or towards you. If you don't like your hands interlaced, palms are just facing. And then gently round the upper back. So you can drop the chin. Feel your breath in your back. Okay. On an inhale, lift back up. And on an exhale, one more time. Arms to shoulder height or parallel to the floor. Palms facing or away. Shoulder blades away from the spine, which has happened. You haven't done anything to make that happen. Okay. And then coming back up. All right, from here, come into a little bit of a back bend. So your hands could come to the back of your chair or to the seat of your chair underneath it, or maybe to the hips, just sort of wherever those arms can land for you. And then you can just lengthen the front of the body. This would be a seated version of Cobra, which is a back bend that we usually do on the belly where we're lifting the head and the heart up off the floor. So just so the front of the body is a little longer than the back of the body. And then come back to neutral. And let your hands go. And we're going to pick up the left leg and we're just going to give it a hug. So that might mean that you just hold under the thigh and lift the leg up a little bit. Or you can hold the shin and you can hug the leg further in. Okay. From there, you could let the spine round again. You could drop the head gently. Okay. Let the left foot come down, and then we're going to switch sides. So the right leg comes in just as far as you can. And if you like, you can gently curl towards that right leg. Come on back up. So the foot down to the floor, the spine back to neutral. One more time with each leg. So left leg lifts. Maybe round forward, breathing. Okay, let that side go. And then over to the right side one more time, maybe lifting the right leg just as high as you can. Maybe dropping the head, gently rounding into the back. Okay, bring the right leg back down. Come back to your little back bend. So hands to the hips or the chair seat, and just gently lengthen the front of the body. Opening up. So you can just lift the chin gently. So you don't want to lift it too high because we'd like to keep the back of the neck long. All right, releasing back to neutral. So from here, we're going to tip forward. So that might mean that you bring your hands or your forearms to your thighs. Okay, so what has happened there is your pelvis has come forward. Okay, so there is a way to do that by moving at the hips and keeping the back straight, if that's what your back needs. And if it's comfortable and you can round your back, then you're welcome to do that. You're welcome to come further over. Your hands might stay on your legs, or they could come down to the floor. You could drop the head. So just listen to your body and move in a way that honors where your body is at today, holding that intention as you move your body. Okay, from your fold, come on back up to seated. Okay, we're going to come wide now with the legs. So just take those thigh bones wide. Okay, so you can just check back into your pelvis, your sitting bones. You can feel them both at the bottom of the pelvis. So pelvis is in a neutral position and the legs are gently wide. So it would be a seated squat. That's what we're in. Then we're going to tip over towards the right leg. So you could bring the right hand or forearm to the right leg and just come to a side bend. Now, the left hand is welcome to rest, or it could come up to the left shoulder perhaps. And then if you like, you can just begin to lift and lower that left upper arm. So at some point your elbow will point down and the arm will be beside your ribs. And then the upper arm bone moves upward and maybe the elbow points up towards the ceiling. So just gently back and forth. These gentle moments where we're lengthening the left side of the body. There's a difference in the feeling in that left side when the elbow is up compared to when the arm is down. Okay, shift back to the middle. Bring your hands onto your legs. Just take a moment and feel that. So you feel your left side, you can feel the right side. Right? The mind likes to do this comparison thing. It likes to feel the difference. Okay, and then tip to the left. So the left side will get shorter. Left arm or hand on the left leg. Okay, so lengthen the right side if you like, bringing the right hand to the right shoulder, and then you're alternating between the right arm bone being next to the ribs and then being away from the ribs. Okay, so just moving gently in that shoulder joint. Okay, whatever range you've got, you don't have to push it into a range that hurts. That's not going to help it get more range. Okay, lift and let the arm go and then let the body come up. Okay, let the hands just rest back on the legs for a moment. Rest your shoulders. Okay, and then bring your hands to your chest. So one palm resting and then the other hand just stacked on top of it. So rotating. So you're just gently going to turn one way and then turn the opposite way. So your feet, legs, and pelvis are all relatively neutral. And the spine is winding in each direction. Your breath is moving. Okay, the next time you're turning to the right, stay to the right. And then you can keep the hands at your heart if you like, or you could drop them. So they might come over to the left leg, the right leg rather. The left hand could come in the center if that's better for you. So wherever that left arm wants to land, maybe the right hand comes to the hip. Okay, you could lift the right arm. Okay, so feet on the floor, legs relaxed, stable, pelvis neutral, winding in the back, just that squeezing of the tissues. And then as you unwind, they get a lovely soaking of fresh oxygenated blood. Okay, turn to the left, do the turn, and then adjust your arms. The arms can do something different on this side than they did when you were turned to the right. Okay, so staying present to what feels right in this moment and what still aligns with your intention. Okay, unwind. All right, hands to the legs. And we're going to alternate between forward folding and being vertical. Okay, so take a breath in at vertical. And as you exhale, you roll the pelvis forward, bring the heart forward, bring the head forward. So you can tip or you can let the back round and you can fold and drop. Okay, just listen to your body. On your inhale, come on back up, and coming up, can use the arms a little. Okay, so exhale, tip forward or fold forward, take your time, and then push down and come on back up. Okay, so move slow, tip forward, and then push down through your feet perhaps, gently, your hands perhaps. Come on back up and do one more. Exhaling forward, letting go. And then inhaling as you come on back up. Okay, great. Let the legs come back together so that heels are back underneath your knees. And then we're going to move the right leg wide. So you're going to take the right leg just gently wide. So it doesn't have to be as wide as it just was. Both feet are still flat on the floor. Right leg bone is going to roll inward and then outward. So it's the thigh bone that we're following, and the knee and what's happening in the foot is following what's happening at the hip, so at the thigh bone. If you feel constricted by your chair seat, then if you slide a little bit further forward, that the leg might be able to move a little further. You're also not stuck by the foot, so that you can roll so that the sole of the foot isn't staying flat on the ground. Loosening up at the right hip. Let the right leg come back to where it started. So slide the foot back underneath the knee. Lift the right heel up off the floor. So there's a stretch there in the bottom of the foot, and you can feel the back of this right leg here. Okay, so bring the right foot back down. So I'm just turning so you can see. So right heel is lifting, so you can feel the calf get stronger and lower down. You might just try sliding the foot a little more underneath you and then lifting up and lowering down if you like. There's the bottom of the foot that gets some stretch and some lengthening, the back of the leg, flatten the foot to the floor. Move the foot so that the heel is back under the knee, and then see if you can lift your toes up. Keep the ball of the foot on the ground and have the toes lift off the floor, and then let them come back down. So lift the toes up and then lower them. And again, lift the toes, wiggle them out, and then lower them down. Take the right leg long now. So slide the heel away from you. So the heel is still on the floor or on your support. And this might be enough, right? Drawing the top of the foot towards you, working on straightening out the leg. That might be enough stretch up the back of the leg. If you're feeling for more, you're going to tip forward. You could reach, if you wanted to, with the right hand. The back can be long. Lifting back up. Now see if you can let the right leg lift. And just try to lift it as high as you can. It's some work for the leg to let it float up. So maybe you can get a little bit less of the thigh resting on your chair seat while your back is still tall and your shoulders and your jaw are still easy. Okay, breathing. And then let that foot come back down to the floor. You got both feet back on the ground. Left leg is going to move a little bit open to the left so that you have room to roll the thigh inward, and then the left leg going wide. So if you look down, you would see your thigh bone moving in your hip socket. Your foot is not stuck to the floor. It's just following whatever the thigh bone does. Feel into that hip. Smooth, rough, catchy. What's the feeling? Foot back flat on the floor. Bring the leg back so that it's back more neutral. Lift the left heel up off of the ground. So you're up in the, giving the foot, the bottom of the foot a stretch, and lower back down. Remember, your option is to tuck the left foot a little bit more under you and lift the heel up. Okay, lower it back down, lifting up. Okay, one more time, lower down, and last time coming up. Okay, feel the back of that lower leg come on. Lower the left foot back to the floor, underneath the knee, and try to lift the toes up. Let them go, so let them relax, so they turn off, and then they lift, and then they let go, and then one more time, lift the toes, wiggle them, maybe spread them out, and then put them down on the floor and relax that foot. Now send the left leg long, so heel on your block or on the floor. Okay, so you're lengthening out the left leg. So there's a stretch there at the back of the leg. If you like, you can tip. So you can bring the pelvis rolls forward, the belly comes forward, maybe the left hand reaches for the toes. You can rest your weight a little bit on your thighs. That's helpful. Notice what you notice in your body. What does the back of the left leg feel like? What does the back feel like? Shift yourself back up to vertical. Bring the left foot back to the, take the left leg back out again. If you bent the knee, we got to lift it up. So that left leg is going to lift up. So maybe the heel is just going to hover above the floor. Try to straighten the leg. So that's a great step. Okay, and then if you're feeling like you want a little more, you can see if you can let the leg lift. Keeping all the rest of you as relaxed as you can be. Keeping your breath happening, so your breath is not held. All right, put that left foot down now. So you got both feet back on the ground. We're going to come up to standing next. So you can shift yourself up. And you can still be near your chair in case you'd like to use it for balance. All right, so from here, can you do that same movement that we did? You're just standing in mountain pose. Take a look at your feet down there underneath your hips. Lift your right heel up so you're sort of in the toes of the right foot. Put the right foot down and then come over to the left side and lift the left heel up and the sole of the foot as much as the foot as you can, keeping the toes on the floor. And just bring the left heel down. You're just going to alternate. So it's a little bit like walking but staying in place. So the bottom of the feet get a little bit of a stretch. You're moving at your knees. You're moving at your hips. Your ankles are changing their position. So all those joints get to be warmed and loosened, and we get to have some mobility in them. Right? We get to practice standing in the right leg and how that feels. And then the weight shifts over into the left leg as the right heel lifts. So just gentle with the chair beside you for as much support as you like. Bring both heels down, so you have both feet on the floor. Can you lift your toes up here? So the base of the big toe stays down, the base of the little toe stays down, the center of the heel is on the floor, and the toes are trying to lift off the ground and spread out. All right, let the toes come back down, relaxed. Just let go through your feet and through your legs. There's not a lot of effort in them, but maybe you have a nice sense of the ground underneath your feet now. You sort of woke the feet up. Coming to a little bit of balance here. So we're going to let the right leg roll open. So you can put the heel just on the inside of the left leg. The big toe can be on the floor, or the more of the toe could be on the floor, that right foot. We're standing in the left leg, knee is not locked. As much or as little support through that chair as you like. And then if you can do a little more, you're going to let the right leg move away from the left leg. You're just lifting this right leg a little up, so it's a little wide and it's a little up. And then take the right shin across the left shin. The big toe of the right foot can be on the floor and it can stay there. Or you could try lifting that right toe up off of the floor. Just feel your left side. So the left foot on the ground, nothing's grippy, toes are relaxed. We want to let, if we have a lot of tension and rigidity here, then it will be harder to balance. It's sort of like we have to let go and let the body find its balance with the safety of that chair beside you. And that's what'll help us get stronger. So our body has to practice balance to be able to balance. All right, put the right foot on the floor. So you're back in your mountain pose. So you just step your feet out. Take your left leg now, roll it open. So the left heel against the inside of the right leg, left toes on the floor still. Okay, right knee not locked. You want to encourage this sort of suppleness in the body, which means it's resilient and it can adapt, right, to the forces that we're moving through it. If you like, you're going to try floating the left foot up off the floor. So the leg is a little wide and a little high, right? Different forces than when the foot was on the ground. So we're asking the body's tissues are being asked a little bit more of. Okay, cross the left shin over the right, left big toe on the floor. You relax that left leg a little bit if you can. And if you want A little more challenge, you're just letting the left foot come up off of the ground. Okay, you remember your intention, bring it back into your awareness, and notice how, in whatever kind of balance you're doing at the moment, that would apply. Can that intention still guide you? Can it still help you with this? Put the left foot down on the floor when you're ready. Come back to standing in both feet. And then we're going to come back to the chair. So you can sit yourself back into your chair. Okay, feet back on the floor or on your supports there. All right, that same movement that we just did standing, we're going to do seated. So take your left leg and we're going to bring the left shin onto the right thigh. If this position doesn't work for your body yet, then you're just crossing the left shin or left ankle over the right ankle. So this left leg is sort of rolling open towards the left side. So if the left leg up on the right leg is bothering your knee or your hip or any other part of your body, lower it down. So from wherever you are, you're welcome to stay tall. You add a layer of complexity to this by tipping forward. Easy shoulders, soft jaw, hands, feet relaxed. Breath coming and going, and you're staying tuned in to how your body feels here. Come on back up to vertical and then rotate towards the left. So your right hand could come somewhere onto this left leg. Left hand can land where it's most helpful for you. Okay, if you've got the left leg down, you're still turning to the left side. Okay, unwind your turn. Okay, take that left leg off and put it on the floor. And then we'll do the same thing on the right side. So maybe you're crossing your right shin over your left shin. So the right ankle is crossed over the left. Maybe the right leg is coming up on top of the left leg. So don't strain the knee here. If your knee is talking to you, lower the leg down. Okay, if the knee is talking to you, there's nothing wrong necessarily with the knee either. Okay, because it's this whole chain that matters, right? It's what's happening at the hip, affects what's happening at the knee, affects what's happening at the ankle. So you can stay tall or you can tip forward. Feel your breath coming and going here. Lifting back up and then turning to the right. So allow the focus of your turn to be your back. So the shoulders and arms are easy. Unwind. Unwind that right leg. Put the right foot back on the floor. Okay, let the hands gently sort of slide back. We're going to come back to our back bend. So maybe under the seat or back behind your hips on your pelvis or holding the back of the chair. Lengthen the front of the body. Take a breath in. And then exhale and fold. So shift your hands to your legs. Now maybe you're tipping forward or onto forearms. So more of a supported fold or all the way. You can tip over if Your back is happy. Breathing. Okay, letting go. And then when you're ready, shifting up. Next, we have our relaxation. So you can come sitting comfortably now in your chair. You can rest back, feet still on something so they are supported. If you would rather do this on the floor lying down, you're welcome to do that as well. So making yourself comfortable. Okay, also find a place just to rest the hands and notice that you're giving those hands and arms some support as well. If you would like an official hand position, you could let the backs of the hands rest on the legs so that your palms are facing up. You can close your eyes. You become aware of your breath. Breath is just gently flowing in and out, and it's light and it's effortless. Soften the crown of your head, your forehead, and your temples, and your eyes. Relax your nose, your cheeks, your ears. Soften the jaw, let it release. And the tongue. Can the tongue just soften so that it can rest upwards towards the roof of the mouth? Notice your shoulders and your arms. You might feel the weight of your arms, your hands, whenever they're touching, your fingers and your thumbs, palms and the hands. Noticing your torso. So there's the front of your torso and the sides and the back. And it's all resting, right? It's resting into that chair back behind you. Okay? Everything inside the torso gets to rest as well. The heart and the lungs and the abdominal organs and the pelvic organs. So can you allow the chair to support you? It's not that we need to push back into it. It's that we need to not resist sort of the natural way our body wants to rest into it. So if you meet resistance, you can notice that and you can just practice letting it go. That might help the tissues of the body soften. And the pelvis. So the pelvis is supported, the back of the pelvis is supported by the back of the chair, and the seat of the pelvis gets to rest in the seat of the chair. So there's also might be a downward movement through the pelvis as it rests. The legs rest down, again supported by the seat of the chair. And the feet rest into the support of the floor underneath them. Right? So the whole body letting go. Bring back into your awareness your intention. Notice or feel how it applies even to this posture. Right? This one's more about being than doing. So, how does whatever you chose as your intention fit in with being here? So, stay with feeling, with sensing, letting go, surrendering the body. If it's more helpful for you, then notice the breath and just sense the breath. But enjoy the stillness. Enjoy the quiet in your body. You are welcome to stay here. If you are ready to move or need to move on with your day, then just gently begin to move the body. So you might move the hands, so move the fingers and thumbs. You can move the toes, the feet. And when you're ready, you can just let your movements get a little bit bigger. So maybe you're going to stretch arms and back. And so you're taking your time, moving your body in a way that feels right for it to move when it's ready to move. And you can perhaps carry your intention with you into your day. Thank you for joining practice today. Have a lovely rest of your day. Take good care, everybody.